All right. Hey, everyone. Dr. Lee Thomas here. Welcome back to the Beeline Health Podcast. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects literally millions of people daily. In fact, 2 out of 3 people in the US suffer from digestive issues like bloating or constipation, and even more serious conditions like leaky gut, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's. These things hit very nearly and dearly to my heart because when I was growing up, my father suffered from gut issues just like this. So I was 21, I was a junior at Ohio State University, and I got a call from my stepmom saying that my dad was rushed to the emergency room. He had perforations in his colon from the massive amounts of inflammation that were in his gut. And at 21, I'd already lost my mom when I was young. I almost lost my father. And so that was part of the reason why I decided to delving into natural care, into chiropractic care and functional medicine, and really gaining an understanding of what you could do naturally to prevent problems like this, because we have a huge problem that's in our culture right now that is delved around not taking care of ourselves, not eating healthy. There's a cultural norm of, eating fast food and being out and just not taking care of your body. And so we have a great workshop coming up in our office that's going to go way more in depth into this, a deep dive into gut healing. That's on October 26th. Hopefully the show today is going to help prep you for that, point you in the right direction, and really act as like a pre-course for what we're going to cover there. So this is going to be a short podcast hitting the high notes. So let's get started. The number one thing that's causing our gut problems today, and that would be our current diet, which is also known as the Standard American Diet, which has an acronym of being SAD. And there's a lot of issues in this diet. This is the diet that focuses highly on processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy, i.e. omega-6 rich fatty acids. Research shows that highly processed foods can disrupt your gut microbiome. That's the trillions of bacteria that live in your digestive tract and play really a crucial role in overall health. In fact, a 2019 study published in Nature showed that diets high in processed foods, they reduce the diversity of the gut bacteria inside of your GI tract, and that leads to an imbalance or something known as a dysbiosis, which is one of the things that links it to IBS, obesity, even mental health issues like anxiety and depression, because your gut is where you make a ton of neurotransmitters that actually control function inside of your brain. But it doesn't just stop at processed foods. If you have a high intake of refined sugar, those are especially things that are high in sugary drinks, for example, that feeds harmful bacteria that can also breed yeast in the gut, triggering an overgrowth that can cause even more inflammation and digestive problems and distress. One of the things that we commonly do inside of our office is we work with finding out what's wrong with people's gut problems. So when we go to our workshop in a few weeks, we'll be talking about specific lab testing that you can do to actually map out your gut microbiome. I can't tell you how many people have come in who have depression, who have sleeping problems. And I tell them, I bet it's a problem with your gut. And they look at me and they're like, no, you don't understand. It's a problem in my head. I'm like, no, listen, your gut is your second brain. So if your gut's damaged, it's going to affect everything else in your body. And we commonly see these underlying gastrointestinal issues causing widespread effects inside the body. So number 2 reason why we have gut issues is chronic stress. So Americans, we're more stressed than ever, whether it's from work or from finances or even just daily life. When you're stressed, your body goes into a fight or flight mode, which directly affects digestion. And so what it does is the stress slows down your body's digestion. So it takes away the blood flow and oxygen that's going to your digestive organs. Well, where does it put them? It puts them in your muscles. So if you are stressed out, if you're about to fight a bear or run from a bear, that's where the adage comes from. Your body is going to put all the blood to your skeletal muscles. And so great if you need to run from a bear, but if you're in your daily life and you're not really exactly hurting yourself or in true harm's way, what happens is you're downregulating digestion, your immune system function, you're raising your blood pressure, you're raising cortisol, which in the short term is not a bad thing, but to have elevated cortisol for long periods of time can be devastating to our health. These are the problems that we're starting to see. There's this really strong connection between the gut and the brain, which is called your gut-brain axis. So when the stress is chronic, it can weaken the gut lining. So that leads to conditions like leaky gut syndrome, where literally undigested food particles leak out through the gut membrane and they trigger an immune response by the body. So a 2018 review in Frontiers in Psychiatry highlights that stress is a major contributor to gut dysfunction. So it links stress-related disorders to gut issues and inflammatory bowel diseases. So it's all right there mapped out for you guys. We're going to spend, again, more time going over stress and stress management tactics at our upcoming workshop. So I hope to see you guys there on October 26th. Reason number 3 for gut issues in America is the widespread overuse of antibiotics and medications. Now, antibiotics, don't get me wrong, can absolutely be life-saving, but they also wreak havoc on gut health. So they don't just kill the bad bacteria, they also in turn wipe out good bacteria as well, which leaves the gut vulnerable to dysbiosis. And when you have an unhealthy gut membrane, you have to realize that between 60 to 80% of your immune system is housed inside of your gut. So this imbalance is what leads to digestive issues, inflammation. It can even raise your risk for autoimmunity. So we're talking rheumatoid arthritis and different arthritides and different immune system regulation disorders. This is a lot of the time linked to problems in the gut. So a study from antimicrobial agents and chemotherapy in 2020, it revealed that even a single course of antibiotics can significantly reduce the diversity of gut bacteria. And in some cases, these changes can be long-lasting. And beyond antibiotics, medications like antacids and NSAIDs like Tylenol can also disrupt the gut's natural environment. So it makes it harder for the body to heal and function optimally. So this is what we're going to cover at our gut workshop in depth. And I'm going to give you guys a couple previews of some of the things that you can start doing and start looking into to help begin to restore the health of the gut. So number 1, we're going to talk about chiropractic care and the gut. And I think it's a really important topic to cover because when you start to think about chiropractic care, if you've never had it before or you've never visited a chiropractor before or don't really know a lot about the nervous system and how the spine is correlated to the nervous system, you might look at me as I'm saying this and go, Doc, listen, I know that chiropractic care can help with neck and back pain, but how on earth is it going to help me get my gut functioning and healing better? Well, listen, what you have to understand is that your nervous system, which is largely housed inside of your spine, that controls every major function inside of your body, including digestion. And so what we see is misalignments in the spine, especially throughout the middle back area or lumbar area, that's the center part of the spine or the lower part of the spine, that can directly impact the nerves that connect to your digestive organs. And so if your spine's in a shifted, misaligned pattern, the same way that mental stress can affect your gut, that's a physical stress that puts your body into a fight or flight state and can directly affect the function of the nerves that go to your digestive tract. So you have a lot of stress in your spine, you're going to downregulate the nerves that are controlling digestion, and that's going to cause, obviously, a problem. The number 2 thing is functional nutrition and overall whole food changes. You know, good nutrition is foundational to healing the gut. You have to have a proper nerve supply going there, but once that occurs, once you're well aligned, then making sure that you have the right raw materials there to build the lining of the gut, help your body absorb the nutrients properly, that is essential. So obviously the first start thing would be to reduce your intake of processed foods and sugars while working towards increasing your intake of whole nutrient-dense foods. So these are anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, wild-caught fish, things that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. You also want to make sure you're getting as many fermented foods and prebiotic-rich foods. These are things like sauerkraut, kefir, garlic, kimchi. You want to help replenish that gut microbiome as much as humanly possible. So additionally, we'll also recommend specific supplements like probiotics, digestive enzymes, prebiotics, short-chain fatty acids, all really specific things based on your individual needs. And so the reason for coming to the workshop, getting more in-depth testing or getting more information is because the more we understand about what's going on with you, the more we can give you a targeted approach to getting your gut healthy, as opposed to what a lot of people do, which is they take a probiotic and they say, oh, that's going to cover it all. Well, half the people that we test don't need a probiotic. They actually have too much gut flora in their digestive tract, not enough. And so if they take a probiotic, they can actually make their problems worse. So lastly, let's talk through some healing foods. And this is what we're going to talk a lot about in our workshop to help include in your diet to heal the gut. So these are things like bone broth, for example, which is super rich in collagen. It's been shown to help repair the lining of the gut. your fiber-rich foods like chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds, getting some good natural starches in there too, like a sweet potato, as opposed to straight sugar, that's going to help to feed good gut bacteria. While if you get more natural anti-inflammatory foods in your body, like ginger and turmeric, that's going to help to soothe and really calm the gut down. So to wrap it all up here, gut issues in the US are primarily driven by a poor diet, chronic stress, and the overuse of medications. The good news is if we make key changes in our diet and lifestyle through chiropractic care, healthy mindset, good nutrition, and incorporating the right healing foods, I promise you can take control of your gut health, start feeling better, start functioning better, get that mental clarity that you want back. If you're struggling with gut issues, we're here to help guide you through this process every step of the way. So make sure you get registered for our upcoming gut workshop on October 26th. We look forward to seeing you guys there. You can register online or by calling our office or by going to the front desk. You can check us out online at bealignedhealth.com or across our social media channels at bealignedhealth. Look forward to seeing you guys there. And until next time, make sure you take care of yourself from the inside out. We'll see you guys.